Today is episode 11. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone that subscribed because I reached my target. Actually, my target was 100. And right now I'm sitting at 110. So thank you guys for subscribing. And if you're new, welcome to the IDYAN podcast. This is a podcast where we deal with specifically male-centered issues. But I've learned that generally I speak about youth that just deal with topics that deal with youth, not youth that deal with the topics. So that's what the channel is about. And it's sort of also a learning process for me and a growing process for me, because this is something that I've always aspired to do. And the fact that today I am on episode 11 is mind-boggling for me, I have to say. I'm truly proud of myself. I have to pat myself for that one. But today's topic really isn't so light as my mood is, because, today I'm talking about suffering. And that's a very touchy subject. And a lot of people avoid it. I myself avoid it a lot. But this week, it's been in the center of all the conversations I've been having. And I truly cannot run away from not talking about it. So let's do it. So if you're South African, you'll probably have heard, or you are seeing the news right now of the passing of the two-time world boxing champion, Zolani Tete. And this came as a shock to the whole entire nation, man, because this is a man that just poured out his story and his life in camera, in a podcast, and the whole entire nation was watching, because I'm sure people in the boxing fraternity knew about him. But for a lot of us, he started becoming a personality through the podcasts and the platforms that he was being put in. And I personally, I got drawn by his storytelling, man. Like, he would always bring you into the ring. Like, even if you've never seen his fights, because I went and saw some of his fights after, and dude is amazing. But how he would tell his stories, man, he would pull you into the ring and make you feel like you were there with him, even though you knew nothing. So that's how, honestly, I took a liking to him and I started following him. But to actually hear what just happened to him, and after 4 years of the ban that he suffered, he's saying that it was unjust for him to be even banned. But he suffered for 4 years, and he sticked by his trait, he sticked by his passion and what he believed in. And only a month ago, the ban was lifted. And I saw that his coach even said that in the news, that 3 days before what happened, Besanova, he was going to get back into the ring, I think in November or something. And then that happened. It's such a tragic story. And when you are sitting outside of it and you're looking at it and you're like, but what was all that suffering for? All that he went through, everything that he went through, for him to get to a point now whereby when he's finally at the finishing point or the finish line, and then his life gets taken away like that. It's truly unjust, and it's truly unbelievable. But again, as I was writing my notes, reflecting with everything and what is really happening, I really came up with the fact that the magnitude of his suffering, I truly believe, was in measure of the magnitude of the love for his sport. Because even though yonke lento bisenzeka kuye engayibizanga, and he didn't even invite it to himself, but he stuck with boxing. Like he was even inspiring other upcoming kids that were going to be taking place where he was, even though he was not being active in the space and in the present time, but he made sure that he would plow back. And that's one of the things that I personally resonated with him, guy, of his passion of giving back to his trade, making it grow and making it bigger than what he actually did. But to do that, kula position because other people would have just gone into hiding, in shame and all of this. But that really showed the character of the person that he was, and I really respected them. So honestly, I just have to say rest in peace to him and condolences to the family, and hopefully this will all make sense. His suffering will one day pay off through his legacy. And watching that story unfold in public for the whole entire nation to see made me realize that sometimes as the youth or as young men, we can do your right. You can go to school. You can grow up in a great family. You can be a responsible person. You can just be a stand-up person, and still things will never work out, or things will just turn out for you. And you ask yourself, but what's the formula? What really is suffering for? And honestly, guys, I don't have the answer for that. Like, I don't think anyone really has an answer. But I feel, in my personal opinion, when you are suffering usenza izinto the right way, that's what really matters, I believe. That's what really is the point. It's the proof of how serious you are about what you are passionate about. If you are really willing to even suffer for it, willing to go through school all those years, even though that does not mean you are a failure. That does not mean you are lesser than. The amount of years you have put is equivalent to the amount of value you have in what you believe in. And you should never give up on that. In fact, you should embrace that suffering. You should push even more. That's what should drive you, is the fact that you have given up so much. You have pulled through so much for you to be where you are right now. And that's not the time for you to give up. For me, I think that's what suffering is for. Suffering is proof of how seriously you take your life. That's the good type of suffering. How seriously you take your life and how much you will let nothing stand in your way to get what you want. And one thing that even pushed me more to actually shooting this episode, as much as it's so uncomfortable to talk about, is just yesterday I get a VN from Upiwa, my friend. But say means just stop young Indians, I talk, pull through, come back to Spain, man. They still need people here, and I left there in good terms, like being a condo that I really did. He was like, come through, man. Zogan's Mali, life yalapo. I'm sure now he was probably seeing all these news and everything that's happening around. It's unsafe there. You know how it goes. And I was like, and I sat with that voice note for a minute and I thought about it. And I'm like, honestly, he's telling God's honest truth that when we are there, dog, life it's not all dandy. It's not all roses, but at least you have a buffer and you have shelter and you have something you can really bank on that's secure. Because Tina, all we know is music. That's all we've ever done. And as Ukula, responsibilities are piling up. You have to be accountable for things. You have to stand in for things. And when we are there financially, it's all good. But I really thought back to why I left there. And maybe this is something that no one knows, that even the gents know. But the last couple of days, Sipa, I actually have a tattoo here, but I'm wearing tracksuit right now. I have a tattoo of the band's logo. And I really think that was my signing off to that career, that side of the career. Because, hey man, I suffered there. Hey, I suffered. And the suffering there is mental. And it's unexplainable how you being away from everything can just drain you. Bruh, I borderline fell into alcoholism there. Like, I was just, now I don't drink at all. Like, hey, but there, it was a thing. It was a thing. And as I'm saying that, I've never even said this before, but it really drove me there. And I saw myself becoming someone I did not recognize. And I was like, I cannot go out this way. And I'm not saying that being here is easy. Being here is all fine and dandy. Being here has its own share of suffering, and and it's unbearable to a certain degree. But I think as a man, you have to choose. I think this drives me to my next point. There are so many things that you can suffer for in life. There are so many things that you can give yourself to. Just a detour. This reminds me of a conversation I had with my dad. One of the previous conversations I had. And I am asking him about why because he didn't grow up Seventh-day Adventist. But he eventually, I don't know why Seventh-day Adventism always comes up in my topics, but he didn't grow up Seventh-day Adventist, but he eventually converted. And I was asking him why. And he said something that stuck with me, and I think I will always lead my life with. He calls me Meads. He's like, yo, Meads, it hasn't fair to. In life, every choice you make, you will suffer for. He said that you will pay for. There's a tax you pay for whatever you choose in life. There is a specific type of tax you will pay. If you choose izinto zesintu, uzawubhatala isintu. And abantu isintu esibalungelayo ngabantu abazinikeleyo kuso, nabantu abayaziyo ba i-tax yam ndiyayirhafa apha, because this is where I have laid my conviction to. So I decided to be Seventh-day Adventist because I saw that this I can pay. This suffering I can bear. Yabo, ukuba ngulo mntu, ukuba ngumsala, ukhetha uhamba le indlela. This is what I believe I can handle in my life. And it's really something that stuck with me. And it's something that I feel like I am slowly trying to conduct my life in. When I take decisions, when I make choices, I sit before, I evaluate. Ndiyayijonga lento, ndiyayifunda, ndiyazi ba yintoni le ndizifaka kuyo. And am I willing to pay? Some you pay in blood. Some things you pay in money. Some things you pay in attention. Some things you pay in presence. These are all relationships. These are all interactions. These are all spaces. Yeah, well, you pay in anything that you involve yourself in. If you want it to give back to you, you have to give yourself back to it. So I have given myself to this right now. I have given myself to IDYAN. And I've said and I've evaluated the costs, and they are very high. There are things that I am sacrificing. There are people that I'm disappointing by sitting here. And I am not trying to make them feel guilty or anything right now. But I'm just saying I have accepted the cost and the suffering of it all. So this is my 2 cents. I always close off way out of where I thought I would be. But hopefully the message is today. This is what I want to leave you with today. When you are in the midst of suffering, the first question that always comes to mind is, why is this happening to me? Like, why kusenzeka le nto? But I really want us to change that question right now. I want you, whenever you find yourself in the midst of suffering, ask yourself, what is this pointing me to? Because suffering is that. I feel it should point you to a direction. And once you've observed where it's leading you to, it's your duty to assess that along the path or along the way that I am walking, am I ready to pay zonke ezi e-tolls ndizawudibana nazo kule ndlela? Because zizawuba khona regardless. Suffering you will not avoid. It's there. Nobupi. Whether I'm here in South Africa, whether I'm in Spain, whether I am working 9 to 5, whether I'm hustling, whether I'm at school, whether I am a para there, we all suffer. But we have a choice to make. Le indlela ndiyihambayo ilungele na uyibhatala tax ya? And if the answer is yes, then continue. That's just my advice. That's just my advice. No, I'm not advising you to go do bad things just because you are ready to go to jail. Don't be stupid. You're making other people suffer now. I think I have to add that. But with that being said, I think this is all I have to say for today. Jan is out.